Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
In this video, I'm going to share with you questions related to business. Among the many WhatsApp groups that I have, one of them, most of the members started asking questions about business and the do's and don'ts, and some of them have the money and they want to invest. So they are asking me, what do I think about this? What do I think about that? So I let them know, fine, I'll make a video and I'll share it with you. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Loy Machedo. I'm a personal branding strategist who helps people get well-paying jobs in the Middle East, specifically UAE and Dubai. And people also book my sessions for personal or professional reasons, okay, whatever problem they have, if they need a different point of view. More details are put down in the description. So the question was related to business, in the sense that, is business A good? Is manufacturing good? Is trading good? Is export import good? Is coaching? See, when you talk of business as a whole, it all comes down to you are being a leader. You're taking charge of everything, and it comes under you, and you have to make things happen. Things that you can control, you control. Things that you cannot control, you somehow figure things out. So that involves a level of maturity, leadership, experience, self-control, quite a number of factors. And I always tell people this: if you find it hard being an employee, then you should not even dream about being an employer or a businessman. Like, for example, if you find 8 hours or 10 hours or 12 hours difficult to work, if you're talking of business, you're going to run 24 hours. If working 5 days a week is your thing and you're waiting for the holiday, the 2 days off or 1 day off, you're just dying to wait for a day off. In business, you work 24/7. There is no day off. If when you're working as an employee, if you get little less salary or you don't get paid, and then you feel the pain, or you feel very bad or very upset, and you're not able to manage that, then in business you should not get into it, because they can be days, weeks, months, and sometimes you'll not make any money. You'll just break even for years and years. Okay. And the biggest one of all is the stress, the pressure, the impact it'll have on your life, personal, professional, is so bad that sometimes people just say, why the hell am I even into business? See, the problem is, when you're an employee, the grass always looks green on the other side. Oh, I will be my own boss. I'll be working for myself. I'll be, I don't have to take crap from anyone. And then obviously we get inspirational stories, motivational story. That man started from zero. Today is earning millions. Oh, Jeff Bezos was, sitting with a desk. We have these photographs where it was written on the board, Amazon, and he's sitting in the desk. Now, someone else's story is not your story. Now, I know what you'll say. Loy, man, your channel is so bloody depressing, man. You only give bad stories, sad stories. You never give positive stories. See, understand this much. In the media, they will only give you motivational stories. They will only tell you the rags to riches. He had $1,000 and today he's earning 100 million. Those stories are rare, and we love to read those stories. You can see whether Bloomberg or whether Quick Take or whether Insider or any of these channels. In fact, Daily Mail Online even promulgates or makes it so romantic that this female was a lawyer and she was earning basic income. Now she's OnlyFans and she's one of the highest paid females. They glorify even being a prostitute and prostituting yourself. Okay. But the reality is not what you see on social media. Okay. To to give you an example, I've written down, I'm looking at the screen, a couple of examples. How many are there? These are real life incidents that have taken place with my clients. One second, I'm just writing this, my own experience. Okay. So there are 12 points. I'm going to give you 12. If I add anything more, I'll share it with you. You listen to these points, and I'm telling you, these are actual, factual incidents that have taken place. Okay. Number one, the first one, the guy was running a business, and whenever he got a new guy, okay, he was running a technical business, that is AC maintenance, then security cameras, then IT networking. The problem he was facing is every time he would train a new guy to work for him, eventually the guy would leave and try to get a better job. Okay. Now you'll say, oh, he should increase the salary. But the guys whom he would train would always search for a better job or a higher salary. And you can never stop someone if they want to earn more. You cannot hold their hands and, handcuff them. You'll say, why don't you make a contract? Yeah. Can you force someone to work with his heart and soul? No. If someone doesn't have the interest, you cannot force them. So my first client that I had, he every single year that I has to get him to do services and work and speak to him, he used to also take my services. Every year there was a new employee working for him. Every year, 2 or 3 guys brand new. Now the problem is each and every guy whom he gotten new, he had to train them from scratch because that was much more cheaper. If he got a guy with complete experience, he would have to pay double or triple the market rate. Okay. So the first one is finding the right people to work for you and making them want to stay with you. You yourself, who's watching my video, if tomorrow you get 20% or 25% or 50% higher salary, wouldn't you leave? Okay. And remember, getting a replacement is very hard because when you get a new person, that person has to get along with the culture, understand the culture. He has to be comfortable with the working environment. He has to form relationships with the colleagues. He has to learn the process. It takes time. Okay. And generally, when you employ a new person, at least 6 months, 6 months go to waste where the person is not profitable. Ask any businessman. There is no employee who joins a company brand new and becomes profitable right from day one. Okay. So the first one was getting the right employees. The second one, this happened to one of the guys who was supposed to come and repair. He's supposed to get my new NAS, this hard disk for my internet connection, for my IT setup. Because I have lots of data, having hard disks is not the solution. So I'm going to get a NAS drive, which will be around 30 terabyte. Okay, it's pretty big. So I asked this guy to come and install it. He was supposed to come and install it yesterday. He didn't come yesterday. Okay. I asked him, what about today? He said he cannot come today. Finally, out of curiosity, I called him and said, what happened? Like, you were supposed to come yesterday. I waited for you so long. You had to order the parts. You had to assemble everything. So he said, my truck, he has a very big truck. One of the Tundra kind of Toyota kind of trucks, where he takes it around and does all the work. And it broke down. And it seems because he has been using that for many years, it not only broke down, now he's unable to get the parts to repair his particular model because we stay on an island. And to repair that, it seems he'll have to pay a big sum of money plus premium to get those parts for his particular vehicle. And he told me, Loy, man, as it is, I'm hemorrhaging cash. I just started to expand into a new business and now this expense. So just imagine, he cannot buy a new car because that's added expense. He doesn't want to take out on rent because he's living hand to mouth. And on top of that, he has to repair this. And now he cannot travel or go anywhere because he has a lot of equipment to take with him. So just imagine, car breaking down. That's a real thing that happens. Number 3, this one happened to my mentor. We never thought this would happen. He always had a turnover of 11 million US dollars annually. And one fine day, the factory that he set up, and we made upgrades after I joined, The factory that was connected to his factory caught on fire. I can make a separate video on this, on what happened. And because of that, he had to totally stop production. Almost for a month, month and a half, there was no work being done. And the insurance company that he had taken insurance, the number one, AXA, Norwich Union, they made it difficult to get the money. And he ended up in a loss. Imagine, he ended up in a loss of almost, I think, 10 million US dollars. Just imagine. Not his fault. Now you'll say, oh, these are very rare things, fire happening. But they do happen, right? Point number 4. This one is regular. My friend was running a restaurant, small cafeteria, not in a very posh location, in Dubai. He was giving deliveries and all that. This new inspector came there who just got new in the job. And normally it is Emirati locals who are citizens of the country, young students. He came there, and one fine day he was looking around, checking everything. And a kitchen is not very like sparkling and clean, and that also for a small one. And he saw one cockroach, which is very common. You can't get rid of all the cockroaches. And he gave him a fine. He gave him a fine, I think, of $500 or something. He was like, okay, fine. And he thought the checking is over. The guy came following after 2-3 days, and then he started checking out all over again. And this time he found another insect or something, a couple of there, and he found him again. Finally, he got so fed up, he decided to halt the production for one day, 24 hours, sprayed everything with the insecticide and whatever, fine, cleaned everything, made it look like sparkling and new, because he was tired and fed up. He didn't want this guy coming again. However, after I think another few more days, he came again for inspection, and lo and behold, he found another insect. And he was shocked. He was like, from where the bloody hell these insects are coming from? And there he realized, a couple of building blocks away, there are some places where this sewage kind of overflows a little bit far away. And from there, all the ants and cockroaches and all, you can't stop it. The guy finally got so fed up. He was like, he literally started to argue with this guy. This inspector got pissed off and then started visiting him almost every week, finding him for hair, finding him for this, he finally it went to his head so badly that he knew that either he's going to have a fight with this guy. He went to the manager. The manager, what did he tell him? You either maintain the standards or shut down your restaurant. I don't care. So this is a real incident. This is a real incident. What do you do about it? Then, number 5. This has happened and impacted my line of business. I have a business visa. And they did have a change in terms of some of the rules. Now, the change in some of the rules resulted in my expenses going another 20 to 25% higher. Now, imagine if I was living hand to mouth and now the government has changed rules. What do you want me to do? Fight? You want to tell them, no, I'm not going to agree. Oh, I can't pay. Or just imagine that because the price is increased, I tell my customers now, you guys have to pay me 20% more. Man, people, if as it is, getting customers is so hard. And if you start increasing more, they'll say, man, I'll go for cheaper options. In fact, the inflation has hit so bad. Before, the chicken that I used to buy from my landlady, I told you this before, it was $50. Now it's $70, the same chicken. Me and my wife used to go to eat in a restaurant here. That was, branch of restaurants. They have Thai, Japanese, Korean, different outlets. Before, my wife was very observant about this. Before, there was a bowl of pork, okay, and a bowl of rice, a soup, and then a couple of other accessories. The bowl, the size has become smaller. Seriously, the size has become smaller. And before, we used to empty the pork and check, like it's like a mountain of meat, so the juices would flow in the rice. Now, when you turn it upside down, it's hardly anything. The portion size has reduced. In fact, even if you go to, some people have told me this, McDonald's, Burger King, the burger patties are slightly shrunk. What they're putting in some places, even I think in India or something, the onions or tomatoes are expensive. So now they're not putting that also. Just imagine, my baby, she likes sweet melon. That is the orange one, melon. Before it was $20. Yesterday, when I took my baby, it is 35 bucks for just a small piece. She likes to snack on it. They cut fruits and give it open. So everything, the price is increasing. So what do you do? Do you charge the customers more? And if you charge the customers, they'll come less. In fact, my electricity, I've told you this, when I joined Samovi here, it used to be 1,500. Today, the same electricity is 3,500. Same usage. Nothing has happened. They just increased. So how do you manage this? Tell me, if you are bidding for a job and you are having a margin of hardly 5% profit, and they increase the expense by 20%, how do you manage, man? Either you'll have to get more customers. So for that, you'll have to make your employees work harder. Will they continue working for you? Or do you charge your customers more and the customers will say, no, man, I'll get some other people. This all happens. This is all real stuff. I'm not talking this happens in a very rare moment. This actually happens. If you're an employee right now, go shopping, you will tell me that prices have increased. Then, number 6, this is very common in all businesses. A customer will decide not to pay you. Many people have asked me, Loy, why don't you do merchandise, putting your logo and slogan? Why don't you sell stuff? Do you know that there are many people who will order, and when you send them your shirt or some merchandise or a cup or a cap or something, once they receive it, so let's assume the person's genuine and says, oh, the mug that you ordered is slightly cracked, or the cap that you ordered is, the thread is out, or the shirt is not my size. Then they'll say, I'm not going to pay for this. Now you'll have to pay money to get that couriered back to you. That is number 1. Number 2 is, if you have accepted payment from this customer, you have to deliver again, so the cost is double. Number 3 is, if the customer is not happy, the person can put a rotten review about you online. And all this really impacts. And number 4, even after you do everything right, let's say you take it back, you send the right stuff, and the customer says, no, I didn't enjoy this experience with you at all. I don't want your shirt. Okay. Now what do you do? Now you have to take it back. What do you do? So it ends up becoming a massive loss. All this is real stuff. And if you can't force a customer to pay, and remember, most of these online payment gateways like PayPal and all, they support the customer. So the customer can get away with, almost like they say, get away with murder. They really take advantage of the system. And if you don't believe me, Fiverr, Upwork, Guru.com, these people who are giving you service, like they'll make your website and all that. If the customer says, I'm not happy, and you cannot charge the customer, because if they complain and you insist on payment, if you complain, the service provider will make sure the customer is happy, not you. And if you insist and if you win, let's say, for example, you do get the payment, the customer will put a rotten feedback that will impact your visibility so much, man. It's so much of stress and headache, and customers can really, really be a pain in the ass. I'll tell you this. Just Google search and check on YouTube videos, customer in McDonald's or shouting, screaming, Karen and all that. Oh, those people can be horrifying. Then number 7 is the customer, one is not giving the payment. The second one is the customer delays the payment. There are many cases where the customer is very genuine and the customer, someone, cheated them or didn't pay them on time. If a customer doesn't pay one person, the person cannot pay his suppliers. And if he doesn't pay his suppliers, then his suppliers get affected. So it falls like a domino effect. And this has happened in the construction industry. Then number 8, it can be someone else's fault, not your fault. You gave the right product. The delivery guy was correct. The customer was about to receive and then it fell down. Just fell down. Now who's to blame? There are many instances where you sometimes would not know who is to blame. Like I received a delivery for one of the fitness programs. The DVD was cracked. It was cracked. Now, the guy who sent me the package, he had sent me the photo and video. It was perfect. The delivery guy, when they checked, the box was perfect. And it's a mystery. How did it crack? Did somebody in the delivery, they broke it and then they just try to make it proper? It's totally a mystery. Now, who's to blame? Customers to blame, I'm to blame, delivery guys to blame. This also happens, unforeseen circumstances. Number 9, I told you, is increase in expenses. And this is a forever constant. There will always be expenses. There will always be incidents. In fact, here I will put one add on. Let's say an unexpected accident. And I'm not talking of fire. When I was working for this company, Almo, which was into audiovisual, one fine day, I don't know. We had a pirated software, that is Windows pirated software, and we are using pirated for MS Word and all that. And most of the companies tend to do that. One day we found out that when you try to open the document, all the documents are blank, zero. There was a virus that swept the entire system. Every single document where we had a quotation, where we had customer information, every single thing. Who's come? That is my landlord is come. One second. Yeah, sorry that my landlord is coming. So that's why my dog was barking. So what I was telling you was every single file in the system got completely wiped out. And this was very critical because we were doing events. So we had given quotations, we had given technical specifications. We needed this information back. So one is we had to pay people who can, get back your data. Number two is we had to immediately install original software because we were using pirated software. And then for that, we had to upgrade most of our systems. You see the unexpected expenses that suddenly popped up. Then number 10 is health issues. Now, by health issues, I'm talking of not just your employees falling sick. What if a key person who is supposed to do the job, he falls sick, he has an accident? You are controlling so many people. And worst of all, what if you fall sick? What if someone in your family falls sick? What if you have to go for an emergency leave? I've told you this example that I gave you, one previous guy, his partner, young guy, ended up with the cancer, prostate cancer, something, and he died. It was totally unexpected. And I even chatted with that guy. I was shocked. And they had to shut down the business because the partnership, they couldn't do it alone. Then, health issues. I told you, your own health, what pressure does to you, you have no idea. Number 11, the governments, not of your country, what of other countries? Like, for example, this Ukraine-Russia war, prices of grain, prices of electricity, prices of commodities. Your own government, if it is not stable and they bring out new rules, what do you do about it? What if there's a protest? What if there's a political upheaval? What if they say, total band, you cannot deliver, you cannot get stuff, you cannot send stuff? What do you do about it? And last but not the least, let's assume you tell me that all this, Loy, this is a very rare thing. I'll give you my personal example. I ran a health club, a gym, with my parents being the partners in Sharjah. This is nearly, I'm 46, you could say 20 years ago. Okay. We ran it in Rola in Sharjah, in the main area where there was the maximum crowd, the maximum number of people. And after they took me, because I was addicted, an obsessed bodybuilder, I knew what people wanted. And within a few months, I was able to ensure, we started from we took over a gym. And within a few months and weeks, I made this gym packed with people. People were paying in advance, they were joining. I made sure we got the right coaches. I made sure that we got the right supplement company. I made sure that we offered juices. I made sure that the place was happening. I made sure that even we got a 24-hour permission where you could have people train in the morning, afternoon, evening, even in the night. And I even made sure that we would not open 5 days a week or 6 days a week. We'd open 7 days a week. Okay, all this I did. And I'll tell you, the gym was literally full. People are saying, wow, it's happening. I even give them extra classes and yoga classes, meditation classes. I was trying everything innovative. Even we put up a TV where people could watch matches and kill time. So it was happening. Money was flowing in like crazy. My parents and even though we were not close, they were like so happy. They were like, we'll have branches and all that. However, remember what I told you, cash was flowing in. We were like, wow, this is a happening business. When we got a chartered accountant to come and check the numbers, and we are going month to month, when he finally evaluated all the money that was coming in, all the expenses and the depreciation, okay, everything else. Some of the other expense, just before I give you the result, they were paying rent for my parents' house, the food for them, taking care of them like a staff, including me. Food, accommodation, everything was taken care of. So, what is the profit after all this? When we check the profit at the end, getting a chartered account, proper professional, we were saving only 5,000 dirhams. That is roughly 1,500 US dollars. Literally, we were spending like 100,000 dirhams or more. We were generating in terms of revenue. 100,000 dirhams. You can just Google search how much is it. Like maybe 25,000 dirhams or something like that. $25,000. We were generating that kind of money. But because of the expenses, the staff, the cleanliness, the raw materials, you can't have a dirty gym. You have to have a clean gym. You have to make sure everything is repaired. You have to pay government officials. You have to take care of the suppliers. You have to take care of the vendors. You have to take care of members, promotional material, paying people to send flyers. So many factors are there. So many factors. We were only saving 1,500 US dollars, and we were working 7 days a week, almost 24 hours. And eventually, guess what? Uh, my parents thought that anyway, I was not close to them. They said, you don't know how to run the gym well, me. And they gave it to somebody else, and they took over. And they ended up making a couple of critical mistakes in the strategy, a couple of very serious ones related to customers, pricing, and all that. They changed the staff, and within, I think, a period of, 2 years, the gym shut down. Because the buffer that was there, the buffer was only 1,500 US dollars per month. That is the extra buffer. So if you make a loss, you can only make within the 1,500 US dollars. If you don't get customers for that month, you have not achieved the target. If you get an accidental expense that is much more than that, you're going in a loss. If something happens and the government says, oh, there's a couple of days, holidays, 10 days, 20 days, your business operates on loss because you have to pay the expenses. Rent you have to pay, even if there is 1 month holiday. Water, electricity, you have to pay the basic charges. Salaries have to be paid even if there is a holiday. What do you do, man? And those days which are off, you don't get new customers. So, finally, when I realized, man, we are only earning 1,500 US dollars a month as net profit. What is the use, man? Such a big operation with so many, like we had around, I think, 12 or 15 employees. What is the use? Finally, shut it down. And that is the reason why I chose not to have any more of a business, because it proved to be very hard. And also keep this in mind, I've not even bought factors like you'll get a new competitor, you'll get someone who will charge lesser than you, you'll get people who will lose interest in your brand or your service. Maybe there'll be a sudden shift or change in market conditions where nobody will want to come to you anymore. So many things can happen, man. So, and in today's social media age, you just need someone to start bad mouthing you online, and then people will go berserk and crazy. And, so all I'm trying to tell you is, I'm not saying that every single person who starts a business will fail. But what I am telling you is 99% of the people who start a business, 99, at some point they're going to shut it down. You can maybe have day-to-day expenses and all that. It's not easy at all, man. The only way you're going to succeed, the only way, is you should not have a personal life. You should not have a professional life. You should not have family life. There should be no balance. You should be obsessed 24/7, like I am. I love what I do. I'm obsessed 24/7. I don't care about friends, about party, about going out, about gaming, about my child, nothing. My work is first. Work is worship, worship is God. If that is how you are, fine. And you have to live like a miser. You see all this? Living as, close to being as poor as possible, spending only what is required. If you can do that, you'll succeed. Others, please, I'm joining my hands and telling you, please don't start a business. Be happy with getting the salary, because remember, one mistake it takes. Just one mistake or one problem. Everything will fall like dominoes. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. You let me know in the comments below whether you agree, disagree, and feel free to give me your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. It's me signing off. And yeah, members of my group, do comment. Let me hear what you have to say. You guys take care.